John had always thought of himself as a stable person. Stability worked out well when he was just trying not to let the little things get him down. It wasn't so great when everything was crumbling around you. When the entire world started to seem seeming gray and flat, then he began to wonder if all that stability would kill him, and if he would care when it did. There weren't any highs or lows anymore. There weren't any highs or lows anymore. Whatever happened to him, John didn't feel happy or sad. He just classmate one. Hey, what are you doing? Spacing out, man. Classmate 2. You're a real head case these days, John. Classmate 1. You going to float away on us? John, sorry. Just distracted. A moment later, he started drifting away again. Even his friends' voices were nothing but buzzing in his ears, meaningless sounds echoing in his hollow shell. They weren't even really his friends. They were friends with a were friends with happy-go-lucky person he'd been at the beginning of high school. These days they joked about him being no fun, but it was more than a joke. They'd get tired of him, find someone else, and then he'd be alone. He wasn't sure whether or not that would be worse. Well, classmate 1. Well, is that creepy? Is that creepy chick staring at us? I think she is. Who is that anyway? Lizzie Doss, I think. In our year, right? John, doesn't she have math with you or something? It took John a second to even register the question. They were staring at some girl who was staring back at them. She looked the same as all the other girls at their school. Shyer, maybe. She probably heard them talking about her. He wanted to say something but kept silent. Damn, she is really staring. Classmate 1. Is she staring at us or John? Classmate 2. I think it's him. Ha ha ha. You think she's a stalker? Yeah, those are some crazy eyes. Haha, you better watch out, John. You're classmate too. You're a real sad sack these days, but you don't can do better than her. Shut up, John, shut up. The words were past his lips before he could stop them. Why did he have to open his mouth now of all times? But he couldn't let them keep talking about her like that. People called him creepy or crazy all the time, and he hated it. But after those two words, he just stood there like an idiot. How even when something mattered to him, he couldn't pull himself together. Classmate 1. What's wrong with you, man? John, don't say things like that about people you don't know. She's just hanging out up here like we are. Classmate 2. No, she's giving us some serious creepy eyes. John, just leave her alone, okay? She hasn't done anything to you. Classmate 1. Sheesh, okay, man. Classmate 2. You think she's going to fall in love with you as her handsome protector or something? Classmate 1. Ha ha ha. That'll be just like John. Classmate 2. You want to talk to the crazy girl? Be our guest. We're heading back to class. Classmate 1. Don't wait up, man. John, The way her eyes moved, John thought that she was focused on him so intensely that she might not have even heard what the others said. Did it even bother her? He wished he could be like that instead of the smallest of things sending him crashing into a state of worthlessness. But maybe she was like him, just capable of hiding it. John cleared his throat and walked up to the check on her. Hey, sorry about them. They can be sometimes. Well, I guess I don't have a lot to say. Sorry if we bothered you. Hmm. Hmm. And John slunk away and cursed his own idiocy. She had been fine without him. He'd just made everything worse. These had been something hard in her eyes, a strength he didn't have. He had probably been projecting all his weakness onto her. Onto her. First place. She wasn't like him, wasn't broken. She could shrug off things his friends had said and get on with her life. At least that meant she could shrug off his annoyance too. She'd probably just forget all about him. Thank you. You're so kind, such a kind person. The kindest person, the only person. I found you. I finally found you. I found you. Found you. Found you. I found you. You. Crimson Gray. The teacher's voice was incomprehensible, but John knew he must be picking it up on some level. He wasn't sure how, but even though he stumbled through every day, he was doing okay in school. He could seem normal whenever he wanted to. It just didn't feel worth it. That was almost the worst part. He seemed normal, even though nothing was normal anymore. It wouldn't ever be the same again. What did Mrs. Smythe say? A functioning depression, such an awful empty phase. At least the class was over now. He could go home, sleepwalk through his assignments, and then fall unconscious at least for a few hours. He could. Then he became aware of her. She was watching him. Maybe she wanted to thank him. No, he was being stupid. He'd done nothing worth thanking. More likely she wanted something from him, or most likely of all, maybe she didn't care about him and he was imagining the whole thing. She was still staring through. lose her in the hallway. Ignore her. Smile at her. Go talk to her. Can I help you? If this is about before, I'm sorry. I just wanted to help. She looked really uncomfortable. Of course, she probably hated him as much as everyone else. Drowning in shame, John decided to cut his losses. Well, sorry to bother you. I'll be going. He needed to get to his appointment. Anyway, he didn't want Mrs. Smythe getting mad at him again. Mrs. Smythe was one of the only people John could focus on. He wasn't sure how much good she actually did him aside from prescribing medicine, but at least she tried to help. John, you're not looking too bad today. Did something good happen? John, a boy your age ought to be more interested in girls. Are you dating someone? No, I can't focus on people. Maybe I could prescribe you something for that. We don't have any hand now, but I could get it quickly. That's an advantage of having a chaotic in town. I don't want to take this medicine anymore. I don't think it's working. The paroxetine, but that's the first one you've really responded to. John, I feel worse. Everything it is so gray. Voices just echo. Can't I go back to a generic medicine? John, you need to understand that you are deeply clinically depressed. It's my professional opinion that you should, under no conditions, go off your medication. John, when you are getting used to a medication, there can be some initial side effects. Sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. John, okay. All he heard was that he was too broken for any drug to fix. He was so worthless, even the newest drugs from Biotech didn't do anything. I'll renew your prescription and see about getting you a complimentary drug. Well, figure this out yet, John. John. Now, why don't you lie down over there and we can begin our session? Good. Get comfortable. Did anything special happen during the day today? No, John, no, it was normal today. No day today. The therapy session quickly fell away into a meaningless buzz. For a short while, time at least, he didn't feel the emptiness. Finally, or too soon, it was over. Mrs. Smythe told him he was doing well and sent him on his way. John slumped back home. The house was empty, like it always was. Ever since his mom left, his father spent all his time working. He did his homework. He ate. He cleaned the dishes. He sat down in front of the TV and stared at it without not turning it on. Somehow he dragged himself into bed and fell asleep. The routine used to be comforting, but now it was starting to erode his sanity. His mind had to crack eventually. Maybe it was already happening. For a second, he thought he saw a girl out the window. But no, there was nothing, of course. There was nothing. He really was losing it. Another day. He had to face it somehow. It seemed impossible until the moment he finally stumbled into class. School was the usual mindless buzz. There was a job fair announced in the third period, as if that meant anything at all. Almost everyone in their school would either go to work for Caltech, move away, or stay in town and become unemployed. John wouldn't wondered which one of those would happen to him, but from a distance, as if he was thinking about some person he barely knew. His grades were good enough to get into Caltech, but the process was so competitive. No, he didn't have enough energy for that. He could imagine moving away, looking for a job in a strange city. Most mornings, the most he could imagine was surviving the day. but his father couldn't support him, and his mother didn't want him. Once he graduated, there'd be no way he could stay with either of them. What happened to him then? Would he just become homeless? Sit there on the street begging for change until one night he froze to death? Maybe that was all he deserved. Teacher. John, are you alright? John. Sorry, sir. I'm paying attention, honestly. I didn't ask that. I asked if you were alright. I'm fine, John. I'm fine. Teacher, be sure to talk to the counselor if you're feeling bad. Alright, we're lucky to have someone like Mrs. Smythe with us. He had to keep it together. He remembered the lessons, but if people were starting to think something was wrong, his control was slipping. He had enough time to visit his locker in between periods. There was some Paxton there. He still had an extra dose left for the day. His locker was on the bottom row, so he always had to bend down, and there was a piece of paper sitting in the middle of his locker. Cheer up. That was all it said. Nothing on the back side. No other clues. Probably a girl's handwriting. Who left it? Hey, did you see anyone mess with my locker? Classmate. Did something get stolen? There's way too many guys around here for me to notice. It might have been a girl leaving a note. Classmate, like a love note? Keep dreaming, John. You think any girl is going to love your sorry ass? No, of course no one could love me. So you didn't, John, so you didn't see anyone. Okay, thanks. Hey, John, you going to tell me she's a Canadian? I'm heading back to class. See you later. And she's really hot, right? Your imaginary girlfriend sounds amazing. John knew he should probably just take some more Paxton and head back to class, yet he was still holding on to the paper. He wasn't sure why. It was really could be a prank. One of the guys trying to trick him. If so, it would probably be followed by another fake note asking him to come out under the stupid confession tree where they'd let me wait and then laugh at me. But for just a moment he saw the girl watching him. Could it have been her?